It is a Nintendo Powercast episode 402. I'm your host, N64, Josh Crawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
Johnny, what is happening?
What's up? I had to take care of my baby.
Yeah.
He's a little cranky.
Yeah,
a little cranky baby.
You and Crawler have matching babies. Both.
Whoa, yeah, that's we might have to talk to our spouses on that one.
Yeah,
what milkman came by your house?
The stork. Wow.
How do you do that?
There's a little pat. Did you not do that at all when you were building it? This on its side. You just push it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's learning about his baby. Crazy. That's wild. That's wild. But for those of you that are just listening and aren't seeing the video, they're actually playing with the Lego Bowser, who weighs about 8 pounds and is the size of an infant. So there you go. Cheesy, what's up, dude?
What's going on, cheese curds?
So, guys, before we get started, we want to invite you to the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. Come and hang out. I am going to let you guys know that streams are starting back up on Monday. I'm very, very excited to get back onto Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. We're going to be racing some Mario Kart, so come hang out. It's going to either be starting at 3 or 4 p.m. Pacific, right around there. So it's going to be a good time. I don't have my full schedule figured out yet, but Mondays, for sure, we are getting started with some Mario Kart. And Crawler, where can people connect with you?
Best spot to find me is Twitter, Discord, and TikTok. Nightcrawler724 is my handle most places.
Did you do the whole build on your TikTok?
Yeah, I have like 3 more. I need to edit. I have all the video done. I just need to edit it together. I do time-lapse videos for each bag, and then I merge them together a little bit. So the first like 11 bags of the 22 bags of Bowser are on my TikTok with it's not the greatest perspective for this build in particular, but it's a top-down view of just time-lapse building Lego. So look for more coming up there.
Cool. Johnny, where can people connect with you?
I am on everywhere except for Twitch. So YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I just posted a YouTube video yesterday about the weapon breaking system in Breath of the Wild and how they can fix it. And I think I had some pretty big brain ideas in that. So
I like it. Very cool. Very cool. Make sure to go check that out. And Cheesy, where can people connect with you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, CheezyC64, CheezyC64.
Guys, the last thing I want to announce is that I did release a podcast ebook called Master the Art of Podcasting. If you want to start a podcast and make sure it gets heard, go and check out my new ebook. There is a link in the description and in my bio on all socials. I have also launched a new show called Podcast Prime. That is a podcast all about podcasting. So if you guys want to check that out, you can find it wherever you listen to podcasts.
That's Inception right there.
Yeah, I know, right? That's a podcast within a podcast within a podcast. So we're going to kick this thing off with, okay, we're just going to get it out of the way. GoldenEye came out. Everybody's so excited. The internet is ablaze with happiness and flowers and all kinds of joy. Crawler, what do you think of GoldenEye thus far?
Its memory is better than actual reality.
Rose-colored glasses.
Rose tinted glasses. I love it for what it did for video games. It got first-person shooters on consoles. It did its job. I don't even have one sitting close to me. Where is my 60? I don't even know where my 64 controller is, but
it's in the box in front of your desk.
Somewhere, probably. Yeah,
I've seen it.
3-pronged monstrosity that we had to deal with. So they had what they had to work with, and it's look at those polygons.
so what did you play it with?
I played it with my Pro controller. I think both triggers fire the gun, if I remember. I don't remember. Either bumper can get you into the free aiming mode. I pretty much used throughout this entire damn level.
Language.
Yeah. I pretty much just use auto aim because it magnetizes. But I feel like you don't get to look around corners very well just because of how it all
Well,
works.
you're a spy, so you're sneaking around and.
but yeah, I mean it nostalgia here. I mean it's great, but the impenetrable steps that they can't fire through, boxes that blow up when you shoot them. I mean, fire, and who knows what they're storing in those boxes, I guess. But
that sniper rifle, it's beautiful.
but yeah, I mean it's rough. I'll keep playing a little bit. I'm excited to take a look at the Xbox version. Like this is going to be the best. This is the only way, I guess, correction, for us to be able to play like we're sitting on the couch next to each other and play some online matches. Is through the Nintendo one, because the Nintendo Switch Online app does a really good job of emulating couch co-op through online with the hands that clap and all that kind of stuff. It acts like you're right there with them. So I mean, we'll have to definitely try it out. But Xbox apparently has better customization options for controller. Josh, you were saying there are some control options, but it's very convoluted as to how you have to like go into the Switch settings and change what the controller can do and then also change what your control scheme is in GoldenEye. Is that correct?
Look, the TikTok that I'm gonna make is I'm gonna be holding a pro controller in each hand and playing GoldenEye like a modern shooter, because that's literally the only way you can do it.
So what does the second stick do? Does it do anything?
It strafes. It's the C stick.
Yeah, it strafes left and right. And so the old way to play this game was the opposite of modern shooters, where instead you would look with your left hand and do all of your running with the C buttons. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have the 64 controller, I've said this before, but the way to play this game is to put your right hand in the middle and put your left hand on the D-pad. And then it plays exactly like a modern shooter and is still pretty fun. But if you don't, and I feel like I'm at a little bit of an advantage when it comes to this game. Not advantage, but like not as much shock, because I will go back and play GoldenEye usually at least once a year. We will set up and do multiplayer. And so and Cryptic is saying if you have rare replay, he's asking you can also get the game as part of rare replay, correct? If you own it. I believe that was I'd have to look up the exact.
That's I think what they had said, but it's on Game Pass. I don't know.
Here's what I'm going to say.
It's
not
very
everybody
weird how
has Game Pass, Crawler.
True.
If the game if you're able to purchase this game, I would, because I have a feeling
it might be short for this world.
This is not going to be here very long. I mean, Cheesy, before I get onto my little soapbox here about this game, what, like, you haven't loved it?
I mean, I don't really have that many memories with it, other than just going over to a friend's house and maybe spending the night, eating a pizza and doing, 4-player couch co-op. I've never played the story mode before, so that's something that I can check out. But honestly,
have you seen the movie?
I haven't seen any Bond movies. I know that is like, I probably should just leave right now.
It's a Nintendo podcast.
Hannah just walked in and her face is shocked as well. So
she just
I think there's multiple people that are mad at me right now.
There goes your marriage.
Yeah. So no, I really have no connection to like Bond at all. But the way that it looks and the way that I remember it, it was a fun time when you would go over to a friend's house and just play.
Slappers only.
And like bobblehead mode and paintball mode.
I miss that because I had a Game Shark and it would have everything unlocked and now it doesn't.
Yeah, for me this is kind of like looking back at Space Jam. Like Space Jam, it was a great movie for the 90s, and like you remember it as like one of the greatest crossovers of all time, Michael Jordan and Looney Tunes, and it's basketball and it's just crazy fun. And then you look back at it and you're like, okay, like it's still good, but not that great. And there's some issues with it. And Michael Jordan's acting is terrible, but you still like it for what it is. And I feel like those that have GoldenEye right now, and for you guys that have missed it, I'm sure you feel the same way, that you appreciate that it is there, but you also are noticing that it's a little outdated and it's not as playable as it once was.
A lot outdated.
Yeah.
Billy was just talking. It's wild that we couldn't jump back then. It's
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
There's no what are they, run or slide canceling in this
slide
game?
canceling. Yeah.
There's no slide canceling, no bunny hops. Trash.
Are you sprinting or is this walking?
That's just walking.
So there's no sprinting either?
There is no sprint.
No, there was
Whoa.
no
You couldn't
sprinting until
there
like
was
Call
no
of Duty,
joystick
right?
there was no joystick to click in.
Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe the C buttons. Maybe, I don't know. I'm like cheesy. I only really got to play this at a friend's house because I never had an N64.
Wait, hold up, Johnny. Have you seen any of the Bond movies?
I have seen the
You've
Daniel
seen the
Craig
newer
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
okay.
seen. I didn't see GoldenEye, or I don't even know what the other ones are called.
Tomorrow Never
I don't even know
Dies. The only or what Pierce Brosnan is like 4, I think.
Like,
Let's
I
see if we
grew
can
up
name
in
him.
a
GoldenEye.
conservative household. They did not want me to watch James Bond.
It was GoldenEye, then Tomorrow Never Dies, and then there was
The
one
World
with
Is Not
Denise,
Enough.
The World Is Not Enough was with Denise Richards. Wasn't he in one more, or was that it?
Goldfinger.
No, that's
Is that Austin Powers?
That's
I think-
Austin
No.
Powers.
I
yeah.
think Tomorrow Never Dies was
Gold Member is Austin Powers. Goldfinger
Oh, go.
is
was it Terry
Sean
Hatcher?
Connery.
Die Another Day. There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
You
So
did pretty good, Crawler. For being a first time back after 20 years.
That was my
or
second
so.
time going through because I
Oh, how bad was the first time?
first it's inverted controls first off to start, which I had to go change, and then I played on Secret Agent, not 00 Agent, because there's more objectives and other stuff. But one of the completion things was destroy all those alarms. There's 3 towers on the dam, and there's like one more in the base as you're getting to the dam. And I destroyed, I think, all but one. And I went to go to the bungee jump, and I just it lets you jump off, but then it's like mission failed, agent killed in action. So I just died.
yeah.
As opposed to like missing like completion parameters, it just kills you and makes you restart everything. There's no checkpoints in the levels. There's no.
Well, it's not that long of a level.
It's not that long of a level. That one's the easy one. Maybe in some of the. I don't even know. I don't think there's. Thinking back, I don't think there's any checkpoints in any of the levels. I think if you die, you're done, and you have to restart. It's been a while.
So if you want to play this game with a pro controller, it is possible. You are going to have to set the sticks to, I think, 1.2. Okay. Or your control scheme to 1.2. I think it's
I thought it was 1.4.
no 1.4. You don't have a trigger. You shoot with the X button. Okay. So if you have 2 pro controllers, you can go to the 2.0 settings. Okay. If you only have 1 pro controller.
So you're going to play this like pod racing where you have to.
Yes. If you want to do this with 1 pro controller, super annoying. Like basically you're going to set this, play GoldenEye, and then change your settings back. But you can go into the Switch settings and reverse the left and right stick. If you do that and set the game to 1.2, you can then play it like a normal first-person shooter, as long as those options are available in the Switch. I know you can customize the controller. I don't know if swapping the sticks is even an
So
option.
you can't even do it in the game. Like you have to do it outside
No,
of the game.
You have to go but then your controller is always switched.
Yeah,
God.
it's not great.
So there's no like profiles or anything.
There's
I
negative
don't think I've
Ghost
ever
Rider.
messed with the controller setting. So
Yeah.
apparently the Xbox has better control schemes. You could set it up to actually be able to use the Xbox controller, but Switch you can't. The N64 controllers have been out of stock for like months. I think they just went back into stock today.
This just sounds like a lot. It sounds like that one South Park quote after they're like trying to gain power in World of Warcraft, and they're like, "All right, what do we do now?" And
Now
they're
we play the game.
Now we play the game.
I mean, I think it's gonna be fun for us to, we'll probably try the multiplayer, and then just like every other game that's on the Nintendo Switch Online, never play it again.
No, what this game, in my opinion, what this game truly needed was a HD remake in the same vein as Halo Combat Evolved, where you can switch between
kind of deal.
old. Yeah. Well, there was an anniversary edition of Halo 1 on the 360.
Yeah, before.
And you could switch between the old graphics and the new graphics, and that's really what this needed. And it needed.
Yeah, but everybody would have been like, it has been like, oh, you should have just left it the same. I don't want you to change anything.
And it has me wanting to go. I have it sitting over here somewhere. Pull out the Wii remaster, with Daniel Craig, because that probably controls better than this.
Well, it probably has pointer controls.
If
it's on the Wii,
it came with. Hold on. It came with this guy, the gold Wii Pro controller, and so it's dual stick. So I feel like it's got dust.
It controlled like a normal game. It did. There was an option for it. The funny thing is, Quantum of Solace on 360 was running on like a Treyarch Call of Duty engine, and actually played really well. It was actually pretty fun multiplayer. The single player stuff was not all that great though.
This reminds me of oh god.
No, Billy over on YouTube. Quick reminder, guys, we do have the Nintendo Powercast YouTube channel, so make sure to head on over there and subscribe as well. And but Billy says the Wii game Quantum of Solace was a solid game. So there you go. Cryptic saying they did a remake or a remaster, right? Which is what we're kind of talking about, but it wasn't Pierce Brosnan. It was Daniel Craig. Like, I don't know. I'm sure it's all licensing stuff, but the fact that we can't buy this game, do not get too attached is all I'm saying, because I think it's going to be. I mean, so if you
can't buy. Is it only on Game Pass or in Rare Replay? It isn't available for purchase.
I haven't looked, but it's going to be one I buy if it is available to buy, because I'm afraid it'll go. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on the NES and the Super Star Wars games were available on the Wii for a short time, and then the
Super Star Wars ones were on PlayStation for a little bit, but I don't think they're there anymore.
Yeah, you had to like buy a special edition, or it became a Battlefront or something. But they're lost. The Turtles arcade game on the 360, the X-Men game, like those games, if you have them, you can still download them. But
well, we got the Turtles back eventually with
finally,
the Cowabunga collection. But
yes, so it looks like Billy's saying it is staying on Rare Replay, and hopefully that is the case. But with Nintendo Switch Online, maybe they worked out some magic. I don't know. Maybe it just seems like such a crazy game that they would throw into a free service and not try to sell us, though.
You cannot buy it. You cannot buy it on Xbox.
Okay. So there you go.
Look at all these pictures.
Well, this one says included Game Pass. But yeah, I don't know about Rare Replay, because Rare Replay is on Game Pass, so
right.
It's hard when you have Game Pass to see what you can buy and what you can't buy, because the Xbox interface changes. It's like, install it, you own it with Game Pass. Like, it's hard to buy. I contradict. It has me second guessing if I actually claimed, quote unquote, the free games on Xbox with gold like every month because it's like install with Game Pass. It's like I just want to claim it and then delete it so it's
Right.
on my system.
Well, I thought I owned Nier because it was installable, and it was because it was Game Pass, not So,
It's
well,
confusing.
Cheesy,
Yeah.
you have been to heaven, and you've come back to tell us about it.
Oh man, it's wonderful. It's so good. And what they're talking about is I went to Super Nintendo World. I got to preview Super Nintendo World. It was an opportunity that was presented to me, and I was like, I can't turn this down. So yeah, I'm gonna go. And I honestly felt pretty nervous telling you guys because we were all together the weekend before, and that was such a good time. And then the next weekend, my friend asked if I wanted to go with him, and of course, I wish I could bring all of you with me, but I was like, I don't know how I'm going to bring this up to the guys.
So real quick, this overview.
So you're saying there was a chance that we could have went with you?
You're
And
telling
you
me there was
chose
a
not-
chance.
There was not a
You
chance.
chose not to even try.
There was
I don't
not a
know.
chance. Johnny's trying to start drama right now. There wasn't a chance. It wasn't even my say.
What Cheesy was saying is, Johnny, there wasn't a chance I would have asked you.
Yes.
So, as you'll see going through these photos, Josh and Crawler will be in them, and I will just be finding out live that I was not
What?
invited.
You're gonna be the Leonardo DiCaprio meme that's like leaning forward in his chair, pointing at the computer screen. Oh,
Okay,
hold
so
up.
I wish I was
Wait
good
a
with
minute,
I know
Photoshop
those
because there
guys.
are a few photos I could probably have gone and done and made that happen. But
Probably, yeah.
This
But-
picture
real quick,
up right now looks so out of place.
Yes.
So you're outside? Are you in the upper lot or whatever? Because I haven't been to Universal in a long time, but I have heard.
Yeah.
I guess description. There's like the upper lot and the lower lot. Is this from somewhere else in the park looking towards it?
This is the lower lot. If you were looking at YouTube right now, or if you're on Spotify and you're watching the video, yeah, it's on the lower lot. So this view is when you are on the escalators, and you can get that view from like up high. Honestly, we are very lucky that California even got a Super Nintendo World, because this, if you are familiar with Universal, backs up to the back lot of the studio tour. So when it comes to expansion, I don't even know how that is going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it's a small little. It's only the one ride. It's pretty much food in the ride and merch. Is that pretty much it? And just
There
the
is
ambiance.
one other kind of attraction that we can talk about later.
Okay.
That was a total surprise. I didn't even know
But
that.
this is pretty much the
thing
whole
there.
land, because there's the entrance right down
Yes.
here through the warp pipe, right? And then the ride is through Bowser's Castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then is there merch and food kind of just in this area as well then?
Yeah, so that mushroom right there that you're looking at is
Mhm.
Toadstool's Cafe. You can barely see the like top of the sign.
Oh yeah,
That's
right there.
Toadstool's Cafe, and then you exit through the gift shop of the Mario Kart
Of
ride.
course.
So that's
Yeah.
down
They
below
want you to buy
somewhere.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here, you see Mountain Beanpole, and there's some
These
Goombas.
things move, right?
Yeah, the Goombas are like stacked on top of each other, and Yoshi moves, and the Thwomp comes down, and will like, when it lands, it has some like I don't know, dry ice, I guess, some fog that shows up, like it's like crushed the ground, and you can see the debris from it.
Are these, is this question block and PAL block, is it close enough to the ground that that's interactable with the stuff, or is that not?
It is not. Yeah,
So
but there are
I've seen
areas
videos where you get a wristband,
Mhm.
and then you
Well,
could
I'm,
like
I'm getting there. Hold on.
do
So
the
yeah, I
little
mean,
thing.
if you guys have questions, I think the best way that this is going to work is if you guys have questions, I can probably answer those questions for you. Yeah, there was
If you
a
just
ton
castle
of
what you come through.
yes, and I tried to get a better shot of it, but there were a ton of people that were coming through.
Yeah.
So
Can you go?
Uh,
Is there any way you could explore that castle a little bit? Are there like any rooms or anything?
not really. There's paintings on the wall, so that's kind of fun to look at.
Okay,
But
there's the
yeah,
wristbands.
so now we're seeing the power up bands, and I chose Luigi. I've got it right here, and you don't necessarily need to have the power-up band to get the full experience. Well, you don't need to have the power-up band to experience Super Nintendo World, but I think that you should get the power-up band to get the full experience, because on the back of the wristband, there is a QR code. And so you scan that QR code and it brings you to the Universal Hollywood app. And then within the app, there's a Nintendo World section, and it's all gamified. This is a whole video game land, so they have to gamify it. You can go around with your band and play and like collect coins, or there might be like a little Mario symbol that you use your band on and you discover something. What that allows you to do is earn stamps. And so you can earn a stamp for hitting your first question mark block. You can earn a stamp for 20 coins, or there's silhouettes of stamps and you can click on them to see, okay, this is what I need to do to get that stamp. And they have it all figured out, because we got one stamp that was like the winter stamp. And it was like, oh, congratulations, you came to Super Nintendo World from the months of December through February.
Come back later and get another one.
Yeah. So for those that are, out of town and just visiting, you're probably not going to get all those stamps. If you're a completionist, maybe you could, stick around all day and try to get those done. But they even have stamps for the Mario Kart ride. And there's a lot that you can do. Even though the park is small, you will be standing in line for certain things, and you need the power-up band to get 3 keys. When you're at the park, you need to get 3 keys or win 3 keys. And then after you get the 3 keys, you can go to Bowser Jr.'s castle. The way that you get the keys is like the interactive areas. Like there was a Goomba crank, and the Goomba is like on a rolling log, and you have to crank the wheel as fast as you can to get the Goomba to fall off the log. Or there's the one where you have power or POW blocks, and you have to hit the POW block, but consecutively line it up with the other POW blocks, so the green shell will like hit the Koopa. So that one's a little more challenging. But yeah, there's like a whole goal that you have to do while you're at the park.
I only have one question, and why didn't anybody choose Mario?
Why would somebody choose Toad over Mario?
So yeah, my friend chose Toad, and it spit out a Yoshi power-up band. So it's a soft open. There's some things that are going to go wrong.
Oh, you buy it from a vending machine?
Yeah. So right away, if you're going to the park and you want that full experience, you're spending $40.
That's how much the band is?
Yeah, but it is also an amiibo. And so like the coins that you collect in the park, you can transfer those coins in Mario Kart, or you can use it as like a Luigi amiibo.
So like, so right now they have the Mario Kart suits, the amiibo suits on the screen. Yeah. So if you were to have the Luigi band and you scan that into your Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you would get the Luigi outfit.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah. Josh, so you look confused.
I have to have all these bands now. Great.
I know. Can you buy more than one at a time?
Well, no, they just act the same as what Luigi. I mean, yeah. Well, Josh and his completionist.
No, I just mean
with
just
his
to
amiibo
have
collection.
As a collector. Like, why would you not have? How many characters were there?
6. There's Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Toad, Daisy, and Peach.
With more to come in the future, probably.
But no, that is actually a really good question, because when you also buy your band within the app, you can set your username, you choose your profile picture. So like Luigi has certain profile pictures that you can choose from, and then you choose the color background that you want. And for the day, you are on Team Luigi. So like anybody that has the Luigi band, you can collect coins and get the most points, and then it like resets, I think, within 4 hours or something like that. So there's like sections where you can look at all time, like who's the top team or who was the top team for the day, so everything is gamified.
So I think we're getting into some of the food pictures here.
And now with the food, I have to buy this burger to get this little Mario hat.
That's also
Yeah.
an amiibo.
It's also
It is
so this
not.
is
Yes,
I'm assuming Toad's Cafe, right?
it is Toad's Cafe, and Billy is right. It's a little toothpick Mario hat. They also have that with the Luigi burger, and then there's that flagpole that is in the Mountain Beanpole cake is a dessert that you can get, and that like star that you're seeing, that's just white chocolate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And then
so,
I
I
guess
mean-
the extra life one that you had, that's a souvenir cup, I'm assuming.
It is a
Yeah, those
souvenir
are drink
cup. Yeah,
cups.
yeah. So I will say I don't think it was like the best tasting food, but honestly, it's pretty good for
It's
theme park food.
So this
And
is like sit down restaurant. You is it like
Yeah.
short order? Like
you
Is it
need to
quick-
have a
quick
reservation.
service?
oh,
Oh, wow.
wow.
Yeah, so they'll put your name on an iPad, and then they will text you when your table is ready.
Wow. So is it a big cafeteria then, or is it a
It's
restaurant?
it's pretty big, but again, like the park is not that big itself. And we talked to employees that when this park opens officially, there will be reservations that you will have to make to even get in the park because
is
they
it
don't
like
want it to be
Italian?
overcrowded. No, there's burgers, there's spaghetti, there's garlic knots. There's
The shape of mushrooms. If you
I was
are not
listening to
watching
the
video.
IGN podcast. They said these were the garlic knots were not great. Were they tough or stale?
For me, I thought they were pretty good. They're very
Okay.
buttery. But yeah, I mean, Toad's Cafe, just real quick, is probably besides the Mario Kart ride, which we'll get into. Toad's Cafe is such a fun time and filled with personality. And we were sat near the back where, the walls have screens that are supposed to look like windows. So there's screens that look like Mushroom Kingdom, and you kind of see Toads going about their day. But where we were was the kitchen. So you get to see Toads making your food. And like there's a Toad that is like chopping up the food, and there's another Toad that is grabbing a pot and taking it somewhere else, and they all have step stools that they have to use to like even get up to like the counters or the stove, and then they step down. But you're listening to like galaxy music and 3D world music, and then all of a sudden it gets really heavy and dark, and you're like, well, that's a big change, what's that about? And then you look over to like the Toads that are in Mushroom Kingdom, and Bowser's airship is coming through, and the sky starts to turn gray, and bullet bills are flying down, and the Toads in the kitchen, they kind of look at each other and start to panic and run in a circle because they don't know what to do. And so they all leave, but there's this one Toad that is like whisking away at a dish, and one Toad kind of like pulls him and is like, come on, we have to go. And that Toad comes back right away and starts whisking even faster because it's got to get the dish done. And a bullet bill flies through the kitchen, and that's how they leave. So it's kind of like if you've ever been to Rainforest Cafe, there's like an event that happens every 15-20 minutes or whatever. I don't know how long the loop is, but it will happen within your dining experience. And Chef Toad is one of the characters I fell in love with at Super Nintendo World. Someone that is exclusive to Super Nintendo World. I'm thinking maybe a game, or maybe they're going to be in the Mario movie. But this is Chef Toad. If you are looking on the video, just a real cute dude. And I like that we have Captain Toad, but we also have Chef Toad. And I just think that there's no way that they aren't setting him up for a game or a character in the movie.
So is he
He's
wearing two
fully
hats there?
voiced,
He's
like,
wearing
yeah.
two hats then.
I guess technically, I guess he is. Yeah, because he's got his mushroom cap and then he's got his chef hat.
So is the cafe down? Is it like buried? Is it downstairs?
Is that an amiibo?
It is not an amiibo. It's just a figurine. But I was like, Chef Toad, I don't think I can pass this up, because honestly, out of all of the merch that I saw there, and I did get a lot of merch, but it felt more of like, okay, I think Nintendo, like the Nintendo store, would sell this. Not so much that it was a Nintendo World exclusive.
Mm.
Yeah.
So did you have to buy everything there? But since it was a preview event, like, did they give you free stuff?
No. We had to buy everything. The part that was like, kind of them was like, yeah, you get this 2-hour preview, have fun, but also you have to pay for everything.
Was 2 hours enough?
2 hours was enough for us to do what we wanted to do, but I definitely wanted to like spend a longer time there. I probably would have went on the ride again. And then just kind of exploring and seeing what other stamps I could get. But yeah, I think 2 hours is probably enough. When it officially opens, it's probably going to be a little busier. So I think you could spend, 2 to 4 hours in that area. But if you're out of town, you're probably going to want to visit the rest of Universal. However, right now, this is the best part of Universal Hollywood. And so right now, what we're seeing on screen is Bowser Jr.'s castle. And you need the 3 keys to get into this castle. Like, they have somebody that is guarding the castle and asks, do you have
you
3
can't even
keys?
go in if you don't have that. So if
I
you
mean,
don't buy a power band, you can't go to this place.
Yeah.
Then.
I don't actually know, because we had one friend that didn't buy a power band, but they were able to go with us. But I wonder if it's like they at least want one person to have a power band. But
Wow.
I don't know, from like a customer service standpoint, I don't think that you could like push anybody away from having this experience. So I don't know what the official rules are, but they asked if you had 3 keys and then you can get into Bowser Jr.'s castle.
Did they check
What
your
can you
app?
do in here? Can you do anything?
So yeah, you're in line, and we were even saying, okay, we've spent most of our time trying to get these keys, and now we're in this like exclusive area. This better be worth it. This better be, it better be a good experience. And when you're in there, it's not a ride, but there's a giant screen. So when you get to the front of the line, it's this giant screen, and you are staring at a silhouette of yourself, a shadow. And they explain that if the bombs are coming down, you swat them away with your arm, or if a bullet bill is coming towards you, you duck. If you see a power up, you jump and get the power up, and you are trying to hit Bowser Jr. and like you can get a fire flower and you can start hurling fireballs at Bowser Jr. As he's like flying away on his clown car, and you're trying to rescue the golden mushroom. And it is the closest thing I think we're going to feel to being in a Mario game, because it's a lot of fun. But then I got hit with a bullet bill and my shadow shrunk. Like, I was a mini size version of me. And then you have to jump up to get a power up mushroom, and you jump really high. And of course, like, you're not jumping that high, but the shadow of you jumped really high. And it feels so good to just feel like a Mario character, and that you have a power up in your hand and you are throwing fireballs at Bowser Jr. It is a pretty cool experience. I think it's probably maybe a minute and a half to 2 minutes that you are, doing this part, but it's, I think, worth it.
So this looks like we're getting into the Mario Kart area.
We are getting into the Mario Kart area. This was another great part of Super Nintendo World. First, you have the queue. The queue is amazing because it starts with like Yoshi's island, and then goes into like Bowser's study. And Bowser's study has a lot of great little jokes and Easter eggs and nods, and he has a lot of books, and there's books that are titled like, dental hygiene for chain chomps, or piranha plants, how to feed them, red or green, know your Koopas, how to talk to princesses, just things that could open up that lore of Mario that we don't really have. And I honestly am hoping that Bowser is has more of a personality in the movie, because he's a single dad and he's taking care of his kids. He has all these minions that he has to take care of, and it sounds like within the books that he has is that he's trying to like do the best that he can for the things that work for him. So yeah, I hope we see that in the movie. But yeah, you see like Bowser's big doors. There's the Mario Kart trophies, and the whole
Can you
time
buy
I was
them?
on. You can't buy
Anybody.
them. You can't
Ah!
buy them.
Wait, for real?
You can't buy the
Like,
trophies.
they don't have replicas.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
It's a-
That
that
needs
missed
to be a
opportunity.
that needs to be a coin set.
what about the
all
what
the-
about
all the
the
different-
that? Can you buy
I
something
mean,
like that?
yeah,
I
there
just
might
want
be
to
like
live there.
there might be pin sets. Honestly, Josh, I was thinking of you the whole time while I was there because like
Oh.
you would have loved the ride, you would have loved the queue, and yeah, it's pretty much your dream come true.
I can't wait.
So are
So
you
they
going
sh-
fast on the ride, or is it kind of slow?
It is a slow ride. However, I don't think that is a bad thing. I know people have complained of like seeing videos, but once you are on the ride, it does feel like you're going fast. I mean, think of it as like 50cc. You know, it's not that fast, but you still have the experience of Mario Kart.
Well,
And
and you have AR to make it seem a little bit faster,
Mhm.
right?
yeah, AR
Crazy
and
eights
lights
and
are
lucky sevens, I
flashing,
like them.
and yeah, I mean, look at all of these, all these books. They're so good.
The Spidey shell cometh. Justice
Yeah.
is served. Oh my god.
Walking your
Walking
bomb.
walking your
your
bomb.
Yeah. And there was
Eights and lucky
one.
sevens, I like that.
There's one that's like the Double Dash years. So if you're a Nintendo fan and you're waiting in line, there's going to be a lot to look at. But your goal of the ride is to get 100 coins, and if you get 100 coins, you win the Universal Trophy. You guys, the Universal Trophy. I said this a while ago that maybe that could be DLC, and I'm starting to think that that will be a DLC pack in Mario Kart.
The Double Dash years.
Double
Yep.
dash years. The saga of the Mushroom Kingdom. And look how many volumes there are.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, how many volumes are there?
There's volume
like 8.
1, which has two volumes.
Oh yeah. There's
Volume
2.
4, which has two volumes. Volume 8, which has 4 volumes.
Or is that 11? Is that volume 11?
No, that's
No,
Maybe
it's
it's just
volume
8.
8. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
if you're
don't know
looking at the
where
video.
we don't where 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 are.
I love cart-friendly landscaping.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
What's the mask one? It was like you scroll up a little bit.
oh, it's Shy Guy behind the mask.
The subtle art of breathing fire.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yep.
that's good. That's good.
There's just so much to look at. That's probably my favorite one is mental hygiene
for heavy hitters.
for chain
Better
chomps.
call for heavy hitters.
That brown one is the littlest Goomba.
That is great.
What's that one all the way in the corner there?
Cart friendly landscape.
No,
Oh, we read
something
that
about
one.
Moo Moo Meadow.
Yeah, something about Moo Moo Meadow.
So yeah, you're gonna have a lot to look at. How to Talk to Princesses is great because it's right next to his throne. And I don't think I got a picture of it, but there is a picture frame of Princess Peach in his throne. So like, it just has a ton of personality. We're looking at more book titles, and there's a great Mario Kart
Guide to World Domination.
Mario Kart diorama, Josh, that you would love to have in your office. I think
They announced that one statue that is coming out soon.
Yeah. I
there
did
it
get
is.
a picture of it. Yeah. Oh, and then there's a book up there in the top left that says Deja Vu. But you can see like everything is really well detailed. That's just Bowser's face on a wall, but looks really cool. So yeah, this is the Mario hat that they give you. And the Mario hat is really easy to put on. It's got kind of like a sizer in the back. It's like a dial, but you can like change the size.
Like a hard hat has the probably
Yeah. And then when you get into your cart, you get like the visor or face shield, I guess. That is AR, and it just is magnetic. It snaps right in. And I wish I could have got footage. I did get footage of the Mario Kart ride, but it's not going to look the same as to what I saw because it's all AR. And Josh, you would have loved it because you go through like Luigi's Mansion, you go through Bowser's Castle. There was an underwater level. Then you go through Rainbow Road, and it's all just flashing lights. And the way that the
Oh
game
my
works
God.
is you have to look in that specific direction. So you want to hit all the bad guys, not the good guys. You want to hit bad guys, and you hit item boxes, and you get green shells. So you're not like getting every Mario Kart item, but to aim, you look in that direction and hit the trigger button. But you're also trying to drive. So make sure you are also steering because you can get coins for steering in the right direction. Like there's a lot that you have to do and a lot that is happening at one time. And if you're a fan, you know like what to expect. Like we heard a thunderbolt, the lightning item, and it feels like you shrunk. And they have like, flashing lights that make it feel like this is that part of the game.
They're probably utilizing some, or they utilize some of the technology that they developed probably for this for home circuit, probably a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all
that's
I
a good
keep thinking
point.
about as he's talking about this is home circuit and racing it on the TV screen.
Yeah.
So Billy asked, there was a little stamp I think that popped up that said that you saw Pikmin on something. Are there references to other IP in the world?
There's, as far as I know, there's not. And that silhouette of the Pikmin was like use the binoculars to find Pikmin on Mount Beanpole. And the binoculars were really cool because you could actually see the people that are walking around, but when you look through the lens of the binoculars, it's just AR. So you could see, Mario characters going about their day. There was like a question block that was flying by, and it just really makes it feel lived in. But yeah, right now, I don't think that there are any other Nintendo properties.
After being there, does this feel like a proof of concept?
As far as like just
like the way where my head is at is we have a movie coming out.
Yeah.
Right. They've now got this.
Yeah.
But like, could you see this being expanded on? Like, did it seem like small? Did it seem like for what the amount that's within the, within the lore or whatever, like, I mean, obviously the space we showed at the very beginning of the conversation is kind of tight for expanding, but like that doesn't mean other part. Like, is this? I don't even know if is this park identical.
They're doing
to
this
Japan?
in Florida too, aren't they?
They are doing this in Florida.
Florida. Yeah.
So when you look at Japan and then you look at this, it is a bit of a downgrade, but like I think I'm just grateful that I even have the opportunity to even go to the park in the States, and I don't have to go to Japan to visit Super Nintendo World. I would love to, but like the fact that it's here is nice. And yeah, it is not as nice looking, I guess, like, but it looks good enough that you would enjoy yourself there. Yeah, Florida is getting a bigger park because they are making what is called Epic Universe, and Nintendo World is going to be in their Epic Universe. So they're going to have a lot of room, and they are getting the Donkey Kong ride as well.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, it seems like, and that, I mean, I hope that didn't come across as like anything negative as far as the Japan one versus the California one, but more just curiosity of like, is this kind of a taste of what we might see, right? And I mean, because we get if the rumors are true with like Legend of Zelda movie, that kind of stuff, like this could really blow the lid off of this thing to where, like, I mean, my imagination's running wild just thinking about all of the different kind of like a Link's adventure kind of area, like
Yeah.
Just make
running
a
around
Nintendo land.
with foam master swords. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Well,
cheesy,
and-
what is this on screen? Because this doesn't look like your phone. Is this something in the park with?
Yeah, so that's
Peach's letter?
after you're done getting the golden mushroom and defeating Bowser Jr. This is on a screen as you walk by.
And this is so coming out of his castle or whatever.
Yeah, it was so
Okay.
for audio listeners, we're looking at Princess Peach has given you a letter that says, "My brave friends, you were spectacular. Thank you for helping us find the golden mushroom. We could not have done it without you." So it's just kind of a nice like exit and thank you for your help and being a hero. But no, Josh, I think this is concept right now. Like they do have Mario lore, however, they have the opportunity to tell a greater story and to actually give these characters character and personality.
So you got the gold mushroom here.
Did
It
you
looks
not
like
get
there's
100
some
coins
sort
on
of
the
cup,
ride?
Listen,
and that looks like a grand star. Like, did
hold
you,
on. I have to explain what happened because I actually did. I got 103 coins, and you can use your power up band on the ride. So you scan it on the steering wheel. Mine was not working, so I did everything that my friends did.
Yeah,
and they got the golden mushroom. They got the universal trophy, which means that they got the golden star as well to say like, yeah, you did it. And I told them, and they're like, well, you chose Luigi, so what did you expect? And I was like, oh, you know what, you're right. Like,
what's the grand star? What's the grand star?
that you got the golden mushroom and the universal trophy.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like an added stamp. But yeah, I got Luigi while I was there, and that made the experience a little better.
I think what I loved about that letter,
Oh,
just the letter at the end,
Mm-hmm.
that was beating a Mario game back in the day. Like it was like,
Yeah.
hey, thanks, you did it. You know, yeah,
You found the
beating a
princess.
level, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
well, that looked like the letter from Super Mario Bros. 3, where she's like, "Here's a P-wing,"
right?
Or like, "Here's a cloud."
Yeah.
Teasy, you had mentioned that something surprised you. What was it?
It might have been just Bowser Jr. because I didn't even know that there was like another thing that you could do. And they kept it so secret. And honestly, we shouldn't have been able to do it because early on they were telling people that it was down, and we were part of like the yellow wristband, so they knew that it was like your wave, that 2-hour wave. And so when we finished at Toadstool's Cafe, we were past our 2-hour limit, but we had the 3 keys, and we were like, well, let's go see if they will just, let us try. And I just told them like, hey, we were here earlier. The ride was down. Can we just see what this is? And they were kind enough to let us through. And some of this stuff, like it was a soft open, so some things weren't working, but then they were able to correct it right away. And for me, it felt like Nintendo has a big say in how they want this park to be ran, and they want to make sure that
how
you
it's
have
presented to everybody.
the
So
best
what is this?
experience
This is
possible.
Yoshi. This is Yoshi's like island here.
Yeah,
So
and
what
this
is
is
that?
how the queue line for Bowser's Challenge
okay.
starts.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I love that because we don't have the Yoshi ride in California. Like Japan has the Yoshi Omni Mover. So it's cool that Yoshi is like getting some love.
Love
as far
seeing
as
those,
like
those flowers in real life, like seeing those photos of those flowers, like, you know, it's not even a game I have a huge nostalgia for, but it's neither. They didn't leave it out, you know, that they're including things like Yoshi's Island.
Yeah,
Can
which
you buy
I
an
mean,
airship?
I would say airship schematic poster would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. I think that they probably are going to have a lot more merch when the park actually opens. And
I don't know because I was just in Disney for Star Wars World, and all the merch was very disappointing because it was just like Star Wars like on a shirt, and like when there were some pictures going through, and it was just like Mario on a shirt or Mario hat. So I'm hoping they have like something like this little diorama that's on the screen right now would be amazing.
Yeah, I would love to
have
take
on
this
display.
this diorama home.
So do you think we're getting a Universal Cup in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
I do. I think it's actually going to happen.
What would it be? What would it
Well,
be?
I don't know, because like I can't remember when. We'll have to go back, but I did mention that maybe there's going to be a track that you're going through, like, or we mentioned like Tour gets all of these like Hollywood
Real life cities.
life cities.
Yeah,
so like it could
you're
be
right.
Hollywood, but within the Hollywood course, it takes you through Super Nintendo World, or like you drive past it, or maybe you do this celebration of Mario Kart. I don't know, but I kind of feel like
Universal as in Universal Studios, not like the universe for audio
right.
listeners.
Yeah, Universal Studios.
I
They
thought he
have the
meant
opportunity,
universe.
so like, why not? We're
This
probably
looks
going
awesome.
to be
Like I
seeing
can't like I think we might be
Is
going
this-
out to California in July,
Mhm.
and I think we're gonna make this part of our trip.
Yeah.
Is this a hint that we're gonna get 16-person Mario Kart?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be, but I don't know.
The fact that it's not 6v6, it's 8v8. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm here for anything Mario Kart related. So
Yeah. I mean, overall, it was a great experience. It can be really pricey, but if you are going out there, if you're a big Nintendo fan, you're going to expect to spend that much. And there's a lot that you can do, even though it is in a smaller area of Universal Hollywood. You don't want to pass it up. Like, it is really the coolest thing that Universal has right now.
I love it. So stoked you had the opportunity to go check it out. Like,
All right, I have one last question for Cheesy.
Mm.
It's not gonna be, it's not bad. So Cheesy has been podcast hopping, if that's what you want to call it. Is there anything
on
that
tour.
you said on those podcasts that you really need to get across here?
That I did or didn't say?
That you did say?
Either one.
Or either, yeah.
I mean, I did talk a lot about Chef Toad, just because I feel like there's something there. There's got to be something that they're doing with Chef Toad that isn't just for the park. If it is, that's cool. Like, good on them for just having something that is unique to that park, but I don't think that's the case.
Update to Kirby Dream Buffet. Add in Captain Toad or Chef Toad.
Yeah,
maybe Chef Toad
He's
creates
behind it all.
the super mushroom in the movie.
Oh, maybe. Let him cook,
Wow.
Let him cook.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
him cook.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So real quick, take a second and let us know what shows you've been on so people can go check you out over there as well.
Yeah, so I was on the All In podcast. That's just all and then the letter N podcast. Watch Redirect podcast, or Directly to You. And there's another one that I
You
will
were
be
just on one right before here.
Yeah, that was that one, the Watch
Okay.
Redirect. And Nintendo Drive. I'll be on the Nintendo Drive as well.
Very cool. Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we were going to talk about controllers. We can squeeze it in real quick, Johnny, if you want to tell us all
I got
about
this bad boy.
How's that work for
Yeah.
GoldenEye?
What's the official name of that one? I ordered it. I think
Nix-
it's on like a 2-month back order or something like that.
It's like Nixie. It's NYXI Wizard wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch. You just have to Google it. It's on back order right now, or it's on pre-order right now. I was lucky enough. They did not send this to me. I must have gotten the first wave because I got it, and it looks just like the Wavebird for the GameCube, except for it's purple instead of gray. The triggers aren't the I forget what they're called on the
Analog?
on the
They're not
analog. Yeah,
analog?
they're not analog. They're just kind of like they're like
They wouldn't
Switch
read
Pro
they wouldn't read analog anyway, even if they were. So
Yeah, but so the biggest thing I got this for was for handheld mode for Smash Brothers. And I thought it was going to feel awkward and clunky because these are pretty big. The Joy-Con themselves are pretty big, but it feels really good. And I've actually been playing a lot of Smash Brothers with them in handheld mode.
I like the tweet you put up there. It put out the Wii keyboard vibe when it's connected to your Switch.
It did, yeah.
Or not the
But
Wii,
I
GameCube controller, Wii keyboard.
I think it's 70 or $80. I don't remember.
It's 70, I think.
It's 70. I think with shipping it's probably like 80, 85. But I approve. I don't really get third-party controllers often, but this one's pretty good. And there's turbo buttons I don't use.
Sure you don't. Out there playing Street Fighter. We know. Crawler, you picked up a new third-party controller as well, right?
Picked up I think I had this on order for like a year. This is the Retro Fighters GameCube button layout, but it's got the offset stick. So the right joystick is essentially your C stick. The D-pad is still kind of small, but it feels great. It comes with both a GameCube wireless adapter. I have it plugged into my my GameCube adapter for the Switch, so it takes that reading. I was able to jump into Smash, and it reads it as a GameCube controller, because that is kind of the problem you have if you
use the 8-bit Do version.
8-bit Do version of the GameCube adapter. You plug in a wired GameCube controller, and then it tells the Switch it's a USB controller. So if you switch jump with like your to use like Y as your short hop for your fair, it kind of messes with that, because it thinks that your GameCube controller is a USB controller, and so it doesn't quite read that way. It does. The Retro Fighters also comes with a USB stick as well. I haven't tried it yet, but you could essentially plug it into the Switch dock that way, or I think it also works on computer. So anyone playing the Dolphin emulator stuff or whatever for
the what?
What? but yeah, it works great. It's got dual triggers and dual.
Does that Rumble?
I think I play Smash with Rumble off, so I don't know. I'd have to go.
This does have the GameCube.
You play the right way?
Nixie one does have Rumble.
I've had Rumble off forever, so I don't know.
You just don't plug in the second USB thing.
I think both are plugged in on my Switch, but there's an option you can turn Rumble off in your controller settings. But yeah, it's great. I have the one. I'm curious to get the one that you ordered, Johnny, here in a couple months. I have more controllers for my more recent consoles than I've ever had in my whole life. So
yeah, I am sitting at my desk right now. I have the N64 controller, the Nixie controller, Pro controller, GameCube controller.
Instead of hearing about how many controllers Johnny has, can we talk about this raid that is happening?
Yeah, what is up, Kyle Driver? Thank you so much for bringing all of your friends.
Kyle wants to know about my controllers, so okay.
Yeah, Kyle was asking, what is up, you guys? Make sure, listen, this is going out in audio form everywhere. It is Kyle with a 1 instead of an L, Driver, on Twitch and TikTok. He's been on this show before. We love Kyle Driver. He's making his push for partner on Twitch. So, head over, make sure you give him a follow on all the places. Go check out some of his streams. Dude works super hard, and I'm super glad to know him. So welcome on in, everybody. You guys are listening to the Nintendo Powercast, episode 402. So we are just getting ready to wrap up here, but we are we are so glad you guys stopped by. So
And follow Kyle on Twitter. Kyle doesn't know me, but I know Kyle. He's a really cool dude and is always
Sounds weird.
Sounds kind of creepy.
Sounds creepy to say.
I'm lurking.
Cheesy only does
behind
some
them
light
right now.
stalking. Don't worry.
That's how social media works, right?
Exactly. So, well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. If you're here with us live, if you're listening after the fact, we appreciate you all so very much. And we will see you next week, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, Thursday night for episode 403.
Josh, get those
Nintendo
reviews. Get those reviews.
Powercast. And we need more reviews on iTunes. Put a review this week. We will read them next week at the beginning of the show. All right. Put something funny. We want some funny reviews from you guys because we need to spread a little joy. It's the internet. It needs to lighten up a little bit. We love you guys. Thank you for everything.
Comment on YouTube as well.
There you go. Any more calls to action before I say goodbye for good?
Bowser.
Yeah. Call your parents. Tell them you love them.
All right, guys. Have some fun gaming this weekend. Play some GoldenEye with 2 Pro controllers, and we will see you later. Bye now.